guys, welcome to Cloudy with a Chance of Sprinkles. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how I made a hexagon shaped cake. Of course it's a bee theme, however I went a little wild with this one. It was like pinks and purples along with the blacks and yellows. We're going to start remaking our decorations first. Here I'm making the honeycomb little looking stuff just by putting some melted chocolate over some bubble wrap so that it has a little pattern. And then I've got these little bee molds that I got off of Amazon that I'm just putting some fondant into so that those can dry, and I have cute little bees to put on my hexagon cake. My next decorations that I'm making are just some little cutout fondant shapes that I can put on my cake as well. So the cake itself will be a hexagon, and then I've got these little hexagon shapes that I'll put on there as well. I liked this little marble look of the yellow, so I didn't fully mix it so that it had like some fun little texture to it there, so you can see the little marble decoration. I thought it was really cute. I'm going to do this with yellow, and I'm also going to be doing this with black fondant. Now that my decorations are all prepared, I'm going to work on assembling the cake. So I've got two 6-inch round layers, and I'm going to stack them on top of each other, and I'm going to cut them into a hexagon. That way you don't have to have a hexagon pan, you can just cut them right into a hexagon. I'm eyeballing this. You can always have like a hexagon printout from a computer and just cut it out and put it on top so that you can cut your hexagon nice and perfect. I kind of wing it when it comes to this. But if I have both of this cake stacked onto each other, then they're going to be the same shape hexagon. So that's what I'm doing here, and then I will go ahead and put frosting on it and crumb coat it and put it into the fridge. So now that I've got my frosting ready to go, and it's strawberry Swiss meringue buttercream, it's so good, I'm just gonna put that on top of my first layer, and then I can stack my second layer and then crumb coat it. Keep in mind your crumb coat does not need to be perfect. It's just your layer exactly what it sounds like. It's to keep all the crumbs in, and then you'll have your final decorative coat on the outside. I'll be using my scraper to kind of scrape up the sides, each side separately on the hexagon cake, to try to get sharp edges. But again, my crumb coat's not going to be perfect, and it doesn't need to be because you're going to put another layer over it. As you're doing frosting with any kind of cake that has a sharp edge, like a hexagon shape or even like a square shaped cake, you want to really load up the frosting on the edges. I'm not doing it as much here as I even will do on the final layer, but I still want to, make it easy to have those sharp edges when I put on my outer layer, my decorative frosting on the outside. So I'm really layering it up on those sides and on those edges. Otherwise, you're gonna end up having those edges be rounded out and kind of lose the purpose of it. Once my crumb coat was all done, I kinda got some more toppings ready to go, or prepared them all to go on, because I like to put my toppings on while the frosting is nice and fresh when we do that final decorative coat. That way, if I need something to stick on the buttercream, it'll stick on there because it won't be hardened after being in the fridge. as I'm going in to frost this final layer of the hexagon cake, I'm taking my cake scraper and going up on all of the sides, and then I will go back and forth on the sides. So I'll scrape one way and then I will scrape the other way, and I have all of those edges really loaded up with frosting so that it can be nice and sharp edges there. And then you would just go in and fill. This cake ended up being a little bit textured and also a little bit marbled with the buttercream. So here I am just darkening the pink a little bit so that I can have another layer of, but like a darker pink, to fill in those gaps that you see in the buttercream there. And then I'll just keep repeating the process where I'll scrape up and then coming in from each side on the side of the hexagon to try to get those edges as sharp as I possibly can. So I'm really loving this like little marbled look that's going on with the cake, but you can see reinforce those edges as much as you need to. It'll also help to chill your cake when you are trying to get like a marbled effect, and even just those crisp edges. If you feel like your buttercream is too soft and not working with you on the edges, don't be afraid to chill it in between. And then we're gonna get ready for some decorations. I'm taking just a knife and cutting off that buttercream that went over the top there. That's always the best way to get those clean, sharp edges. And then we're gonna put a little drip on and then add our decorations. Here I just made a chocolate ganache out of some black candy melts and some heavy whipping cream, and I'm just gonna put it over like a portion of the cake here. It's kind of ended up being a really abstract sort of design. Sometimes you might need to help the drip a little bit. My consistency of my ganache was a little bit thick, but since this is a short cake, I didn't want the drip going all the way to the board. So it worked out totally fine for this. I'm just going in to add some buttercream piping. Definitely pick a front of your cake as you are decorating, because this one's going to be abstract and it's not going to be symmetrical all the way around. So I've got like the drip is kind of on the side-ish of the cake, and then I'm going in with all my different colored buttercreams and whatnot, and then we'll get some sprinkles on there and our fondant decorations that we made earlier. super fun hexagon cake. You can make these whatever it is that you want. I'm loving this non-traditional bee theme. Let me know what you think about it in the comments, and thanks for watching.